Hey guys, we are moving on to Unit 6. So this unit is all about area and perimeter. And for this first lesson, we have to learn about Pythagorean theorem. Probably already know Pythagorean theorem, but we're going to review it anyway. Because Pythagorean theorem is going to come up a lot in the rest of this unit. So you'll have to use it, so we need to be really good at it. So Pythagorean theorem is used to find a missing side of a right triangle. Now, in order to do this, we must know 2 of the 3 sides. Now, of these 3 sides, the hypotenuse is the longest side, and we can find the hypotenuse because it is across from the right angle. And the other 2 sides we call legs. So in this triangle, the one across from the 90 degrees, that is my hypotenuse. And the others, it doesn't matter, they're just called legs. Now, Pythagorean theorem, the formula is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and c has to be your hypotenuse. So my hypotenuse is c. The other 2, a and b, you can interchange them. It doesn't matter as long as your hypotenuse is the c. So let's do some examples. It's important to label your A, B, and C when you start. So I always like to put a C where my H is, or my hypotenuse, and then your A and B. So A squared, B4 squared, plus 9.4 squared equals X squared. And then in the calculator, if we do 4 squared plus 9.4 squared, we get 104.36 equals x squared. And then in order to get the x, we need to take the square root. So the square root of 104.36 is 10.216. If it doesn't tell you otherwise, try to go to at least 3 decimal places. The more you have, the more accurate it is. Number 2. The 14.4 is my C because that one's the one across from the right angle. The other 2, it doesn't matter. So 4.8 squared plus x squared equals 14.4 squared. 4.8 squared is 23.04 plus x squared equals 207.36. Then I subtract. And we get x squared equals 184.32. And then I take the square root to get x equals 13.5 577. Number 3, label the C. This is the one across from the 90. And then we have A and B. So 5.3 squared plus x squared equals 12 squared. So it'd be 28.09 plus x squared equals 144. Then I subtract. To get x squared equals 115.91. And then I take the square root. And we get x equals 10.766. All right, number 4 says 2 joggers run 8 miles north. So here they are. They run 8 miles north and 5 miles west. Well, let me redo this. 8 miles north, 5 miles west. And we want to know the shortest distance to return to their starting point. That would be the hypotenuse. So they could run their exact path back, but that would take a longer time. So we have 5 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. And 5 squared plus 8 squared is 89 equals c squared. And then when we take the square root of both sides, we get 9.434. And that would be miles. Oscar's doghouse is shaped like a tent. The slanted sides are both 5 feet, and the bottom of the doghouse is 6 feet. We want to know the height. So basically we have 2 right triangles, and each side would be 3. So if we label this one C, then we have A and B. So x squared plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. X squared plus 9 equals 25. Subtracting 9 gives us x squared equals 16. And then if we take the square root, we get 4 feet. One thing that will help you be a little faster and maybe avoid doing Pythagorean theorem is if you know some of the Pythagorean triples. These are great to know and to memorize, especially for the ACT. So a Pythagorean triple, that's 3 positive numbers that fit the Pythagorean theorem, but they're whole numbers. So you'll notice that most of the times when we do Pythagorean theorem, one of them ends up being a decimal. But sometimes we have these Pythagorean triples. So any multiple of a Pythagorean triple would also be a Pythagorean triple. So like the most common one you'll see is a 3, 4, 5 triangle. So both of the legs are 3 and 4, and then the hypotenuse is 5. Now, any multiple would also be considered a triple, like 6, 8, 10, or 9, 12, 15. So if we multiply all of those numbers by 3, 4, 5, 7, 13, 29, it's still a Pythagorean triple. So 3, 4, 5 is the absolute most common one. You need to have that memorized. The other one that's fairly common is 5, 12, 13. And so if we have a multiple like 10, 24, 26, that would be a Pythagorean triple. You need to be able to recognize those multiples. Another one is 7, 24, 25. Then we have 8, 15, 17, and 9, 40, 41. So all of these 5 are really good to know. These first 3 you really should memorize. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13. Just memorize, memorize, memorize. So let's try some Pythagorean theorem questions, but without using Pythagorean theorem. So number 6, I see the numbers 5 and 12, and I think, that's a Pythagorean triple. 5, 12, 13. Number 7, I see numbers 24 and 25. The other one probably has to be 7. Number 8, 6 and 10 aren't a triple in themselves, but 3, 4, 5 is. And if I multiply all of those numbers by 2, we get 6, 8, 10. 30 and 34, if I look at my chart up here, 30 and 34 aren't in there, but 15 and 17 are. So this would be the triple 8, 15, 17, where everything is multiplied by 2, like 16, 30, 34. So this other side has to be 16. 36 and 39 aren't, but if I divide each of those by 3, we get 5, 12, 13, 15, 36, 39. So this other side has to be 15. 15 and 20, again, not in the chart, but this one goes back to the 3, 4, 5. These are multiplied by 5. 15, 20, 25. So if you see numbers, Pythagorean theorem, first check to see if it might be a triple. It might save you some work. If you don't have those memorized or you forget them, you can still do Pythagorean theorem. It just might take you a little bit longer. And a lot of the examples that we're going to see throughout this unit are going to be these Pythagorean triples. So it'll save you some time if you have them memorized. If you have any questions, let me know.